Good morning, dear students. Today we are on chapter 4, a poem named The Lake Isle of Innisfree. This poem is written by William Butler Yeats. He was an Irish poet, dramatist, prose writer, and one of the foremost figures of 20th century's literature. A pillar of the Irish literary establishment, he helped to found the Abbey Theatre, and in his later years served 2 terms as a senator of Irish Free State. William Yeats was born in Sandymount, Ireland, and educated there and in London. He studied poetry from an early age. In 1923, he was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature. Butler was a romantic poet as he explains the beauty of the nature, and was born in 13th June 1865 and died in the year of 1939, January 28. Now let's go to the poem in detail. The Lake Isle of Innisfree. It is not an ordinary isle, it is a lake isle. And the poem starts with the introduction of a place named Innisfree. It is a place where the poet had spent a lot of time when he was a boy. He wants to go back to that place as he finds it to be peaceful and full of nature's beauty. He says that he will build a simple and small hut which will have 9 bee rows and have a honeybee hive. He will live alone in the home and will love the peace of nature. He wants to enjoy life in the lap of nature and looks forward to getting away from the fast life of the cities. At the end of the poem, the poet reveals the fantasy image of his dream, which depicts the life he wants to live. However, reality seems to be the opposite of what he dreams. I will arise and go now, and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin built there of clay and barrels made. 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive of the honeybee, and live alone in the bee-loved glade. In the poem, I refers to the poet, and when we analyze the first stanza, here the poet says that he wants to go to Innisfree, and he will build a small hut with the help of clay, and he will make the walls of the rooms with small sticks. He will grow the 9 rows of beans near to his house, and he says about he will also have the honeybee from which he can collect the fresh honey. When we come to the last line, he says that his room will be full of the buzzing sound of bees, and he will live alone in peace and silence there. In this stanza, the poet explains clearly how the city life is noisy and how he wants to get off from there, and how he lives in the island of Innisfree by building a small house and rows of beans near to his house with honeybee and the sound of honeybee. He lives in peace and harmony in the small island alone. And I shall have some peace there, for peace comes from dropping slow, dropping from the vales of the morning to where the cricket sings. There midnight's all a glimmer, and noon a purple glow, and evenings full of the linnet's wings. In the second stanza, the poet says that he feels peace in the Innisfree island. He will feel peace enveloping him gradually. Further, he says that in the morning, when the clouds cannot be seen clearly, then it appears as the morning has worn a cover like a veil. This scene will make him feel more serene, and he says that he enjoys the morning song of the cricket insect. At midnight, the twinkling in the sky gives him immense pleasure, means the twinkling stars make him immense pleasure. In the afternoon, the purple glow of the sunlight makes him feel happy, and in the evening, he enjoys the scene of the linnet birds flying in the sky with their full wings. In this second stanza, the poet explains or expresses the beauty of the nature. In the morning, like a veil covered, and the afternoon, the purple sky, and the evening, the linnet birds and its beauty. And in midnight, he explains the twinkling stars. Everything gives him happy and pleasure. And let's move to the next stanza, the last stanza of the poem. I will arise and go now, for always night and day. I hear the lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. While I stand on the roadway or on the pavement's grey, I hear it in the deep heart's core. While we analyze the last stanza of the poem, the poet is determined to go to Innisfree, the dreamland of the poet. He says that he will now stand up and go to Innisfree because day or night, all the time in his mind he hears the sound of the lake water hitting the shore. Whenever he stands in the city, on the roadway, or on the grey colored pavement, he hears the sound deep inside his heart. Dear students, through this poem we can understand how the poet elaborates and explains the beauty of the nature. And here the poet wants to be a part of nature, not a part of the noisy and congested life in the city. Through our life experience, we can also understand the difference between city life and the life in the villages. In the city, we will be getting lots of things, the facilities, but in the nature, we get peace and harmony.